February this year, the Lagos state government enforced the ban on commercial motorcycles and tricycles, locally known as Okada and Keke respectively. The effects of this ban have been widespread, with overcrowded bus stops such as this, commuters having to spend long hours in gridlocked traffic, and sometimes others even having to walk long distances. The partial ban restricts motorcycles and tricycles from operating in 6 local government areas, 9 local council development areas, 10 major highways, and 40 bridges and flyovers across Lagos. Riders are now limited to operating in the outskirts of the metropolis. Commuters say Okada and Keke are easier to navigate town because they ply streets and hard-to-reach areas where buses and taxis rarely reach. Ayomiko Oga is a working mom and commutes to work daily. Her lifestyle changed after the ban was introduced.
Bye, Mama. Bye, Mika. So it's 5:32 a.m. and I'm heading out. Before we used to have bikes and kekes, but now we don't have any. So it takes me about 10-15 minutes to get to the bus stop. Why would it be this time we will take our bikes and I'm just going back to work after like 3 months maternity leave? Sure, you can hear the sound of cars now. Approaching the main road. I'm so tired actually. Before I have to leave my baby in the house and start running out, then I have to still run back in the evening. It's exhausting. It's so dark. Like there's virtually or literally nobody on the road. So most of the time I have to wake my husband up. He goes to work later. So I have to wake him up. He walks me to the bus stop, then walks back home by himself, which I don't think is safe as well. It's Lagos, like they say. We all get used to the hustle and bustle, but it's just crazy. Yeah. I'm finally at the office and it's 8:15. It's more expensive right now. Before it would have cost like 300 naira to get me to the office. Now it costs me about 600 naira. That's like double the fare. Sometimes I just feel like I should just get in and sleep because I'm waking up at 4 a.m. so I can get to work early. Then I'm still getting here like after 8 o'clock. So I still have to take like 2 cups of coffee to wake up so I can actually give my best at work.
There are an estimated 8 million Okada riders operating across Nigeria. So, what is the experience like for former riders in Lagos? We took to the streets to find out.
This is the way you find our daily bread. Even if you're banned from the expressway, let's operate in the smaller streets. Now we are treated like thieves as though we aren't human. Prior to the ban, I used to make $8 to $10 daily. Now, to get $3 is difficult. We have families and children who are schooling. This is how we survive. Now we've been stopped, we don't know what else to do.
Honestly, I'm unhappy with what the done. Some people have children in school and families to feed, and these bikes used to help them. Now we hire them to operate for about an hour or 30 minutes. Prior to the ban, I made 2,500 naira daily. But now I barely make 1,000 naira or 1,500 naira. If the government has some alternative for us, they should give us. Else, we should be allowed to operate so we don't steal.
Since 2017, motorcycle hailing platforms in Nigeria, which employ about 15,000 direct staff, have raised millions of dollars in foreign funding. However, this ban has had a huge impact on their transport operations, as we learned from Chinedu Azodo, co-founder of Max NG. Has this ban affected operations in your business?
It has been tough. A key reason being that the areas restricted make up about 90 to 95% of our business today. In the past month, we haven't made any revenues in Lagos. We haven't had drivers working. We haven't had to let go of staff though, which is a good thing. Because we're in 3 other cities, we're lucky by that. So we've had to take some people out of Lagos and move them to other cities so that people can actually retain their jobs.
Do you think there is something different that can be done going forward?
Regulating, I think, will solve the problem. than the ban. I agree that there should be some level of there should be a lot of control around how this works, right? Because when you think about it, transportation is a public good. Because the reality that people around hasn't changed.
Later, we meet an entrepreneur who started Nigeria's first bicycle hauling service. The Lagos state government has defended the ban, saying it is intended to enhance safety and security in the metropolis by decongesting roads, reducing accidents and overcrowding. It added that the discomfort being experienced by commuters will not last as alternatives are being rolled out. What does the future hold for Nigeria's transport sector? We had a chat with Damilola Akimbami to understand how this ban will affect investor confidence. Do you think this was the best decision by the government of Lagos State?
From the government's perspective, they actually want to ensure security is addressed, the deaths are reduced, the accidents are reduced. So that's where they are coming. But for the Okada riders, for even commuters, I think it's been very disruptive. People spend hours in traffic and you get to the workplace, they're tired, productivity is low, definitely be affected. And now unemployment too is definitely going to increase because most of these companies lay off their staff just to ensure that their margins are actually kept at a certain levels.
What does this really mean for investor participation, especially direct?
Things like this actually cause a lot of investor uncertainty, and if that happens, if sentiment is dampened, you will see investors hold back or like, okay, let's see, are they going to be stable with their policy decisions or what have you.
Is there a way forward or are there possible solutions to this problem?
Well, I know that the Lagos state is planning on rolling out some small mini buses, but the thing is, like, even if you bring in these buses, definitely they're going to add to the traffic because you have more cars on the road. But for a mega city like Lagos, you have to think outside the box. You look at India, look at even London, they have rail systems, and Lagos state is surrounded by water. So you could also invest in the marine sector, and then you also have to look at the routes. There has to be interconnectivity. I would just advise Nigerians that it's a short-term pain that you just have to bear for the economy of the state to improve and grow.
Thank you so much. Our Bikes is a tech startup offering Nigeria's first bicycle sharing service, aiming to support the transport system and promote a healthy lifestyle among people.
I moved to France for my studies a few years back, and I had a bike. That was what I used. That was my primary mode of transportation. And I remember just thinking to myself, why don't we do this in Nigeria? Why can't we, have bicycle sharing schemes here? I moved back to Nigeria, and then I had a conversation with a few, and we decided to start the company.
Do mega cities like Lagos have the right infrastructure to support innovations like this?
Up till now, we can't really say that, we really recognize cyclists or provision made for cyclists on the roads to be able to commute as well and commute conveniently. As we speak, government is working on, really beginning to recognize cyclists, as legal road users, and then, that would also help in providing, infrastructure, so that like cycling lanes and whatnot.
Aside moving people from one part of the community to another, what other benefits would cycling provide?
We have transporting people, that's moving people from point A to point B. We also have health and exercise, right? And then C, we also have environmental protection and environmental safety.
Be it exploring waterways, better road networks, or a railway system, good transport infrastructure is necessary to complement the rapid expansion and growing populace of a megacity like Lagos. We had this week on BBC Smart Money. Goodbye.